Good yontiv, everyone. So, tonight begins our 10 days of repentance, our holy time, the Yamim Noraim. And for us, always one of the priorities is that we come together as a community, which means you need to know the people you're seeing near, that you need to pray together. So find someone that's near and wish them a good yontiv, a Shana Tova. Introduce yourself to them and create our home. I guess I should have been ready. Well, I'll take this moment just to, in advance, thank our choir for helping our prayers, helping our experience on this night and throughout our holidays be beautiful. So appreciate greatly that you are helping and making all the music beautiful. We begin our services tonight on page 49 of our prayer books as I invite one of the vice presidents of our congregation, Ms. Terry Cooper, to join me on the bima to lead us in the lighting of the holiday tapers.
With the setting of this evening's sun, united with Jews of every place and time, we proclaim a new year of hope. May the light of the divine shine forth to lead us, to show us the good we must do, the harmony we must create. Let the fire we kindle be for us a warming flame, whose brightness shows us the path of life.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel yom tov.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvah v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel yom tov. Blessed is the eternal power that inspires us to kindle the light of Yom Tov. Blessed is the source of life and light. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'achiyanu v'kiyamanu v'higyanu lazman hazeh. Blessed is the eternal power of the universe for giving us life, for sustaining us, and for enabling us to reach this season.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'achiyanu v'kiyamanu v'higyanu lazman
Turn now to page 71 for the Kiddush, the sanctification of this day. Maybe. Or maybe not.
Baruch atah Adonai, Baruch u'baruch Shemo, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Baruch Shemo, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol am, ורוממנו מכל לשון, וקידשנו במצוותיו. ותיתן לנו, אדוני אלוהינו, באהבה את יום הזיכרון הזה, יום תרום קיוונו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים. ודברך אמת, וכיום לא עד. ברוך אתה, אדוני, ברוך וברוך שמו. כל הארץ מקדש ישראל ויום הזיכרון
return to page 51 in our prayer books. In the twilight of the vanishing year, we lift up our hearts in thanksgiving. Our souls are stirred by the memory of joy as the new year begins. We were sustained by love and kindness, comforted in times of sorrow, found happiness in our homes, gladness with our friends. We lift up our hearts in thanksgiving as the new year begins.
As the new year begins, our spirits rise in grateful song.
For there were dreams that came to naught, times when we refused to dream. These, with much regret, we now remember as the new year begins.
As the new year begins, contrition fills our thoughts.
Some of our days were dark with grief, many a tear furrowed our cheeks. Alas, for the tender ties that were broken. We look back with sorrow as the new year begins.
As the new year begins, tears well up within us.
Yet we look ahead with hope, giving thanks for the daily miracle of renewal, for the promise of good to come. May this Rosh Hashanah, this birthday of the world, be our day of rebirth into life and peace, serenity and safety as the new year begins.
As the new year begins, so is hope reborn with us.
B'chodesh hashvi'i b'echat l'chodesh yihiyeh lachem Shabbaton zichron Torah mikra kodesh. In the 7th month, on the first day of the month, there shall be a sacred assembly, a cessation from work, a day of commemoration proclaimed by the sound of the shofar. Please rise. Sound the shofar when the new moon appears at the turning of the year. At the returning of our solemn celebration, for this is a statute binding on Israel, an ordinance of the God of Jacob. Yeh ratzon milfanecha Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu sh'techadesh aleinu v'al kol Beit Yisrael et hashanat hazot shnat 50,000 u'shva u'shmonim v'chaim u'shalom u'sason u'simcha u'shua u'nechama v'nomar Amen. May this new year, called 5,780, bring to us, the whole house of Israel, life and peace, joy and exaltation, redemption and comfort. May this new year bring us life and peace, joy and exaltation,
Redemption and comfort. Amen.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamborach. Praise the Lord, to whom our praises due. Baruch Adonai Hamborach le'olam va'ed. Praise be the Lord, to whom our praises due now and forever.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bivaro ma'ariv aravim b'chokhmah poteh sha'arim u'bitvunah meshaneh itim, u'ma'chalif et ha'azmanim u'msader et ha'kochavim u'mishmerotea b'rakia kirtzono. B'rei yom v'layla golel or mipnei choshech v'choshech mipnei or. U'ma'avir yom u'mevi layla. U'ma'avdil ben yom u'ben layla Adonai tzvaot shemo. El chai v'kayam, tamid yimnoch aleinu le'olam va'ed. Praise be the Lord our God, ruler of the universe, whose word brings on the evening. With wisdom you open heaven's gates. With understanding you make the ages pass and the seasons alternate. Your will controls the stars as they travel through the sky.
Creator of day and night, you roll light away from
Darkness and darkness from light. You cause day to pass and bring on the night. The Lord of hosts is your name, O living and eternal God. Rule us always to the end of time. Blessed is the Lord, whose word makes evening fall. Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv aravim. Ahavat olam beit Yisrael amcha avta. Unending is your love for your people, the house of Israel. Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts have you taught us. Therefore, O Lord our God, we lie down, we rise up. We will meditate on your laws, rejoice in your Torah and mitzvot forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life and the length of our days. O may your love never depart from our hearts. Blessed are you, O Lord, you love your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael. Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, the Lord is our God, the Lord is one.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
Please be seated.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, ושבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך, ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
You shall love the Lord your God with all your mind, with all your strength, with all your being. Set these words which I command you this day upon your heart. Teach them faithfully to your children. Speak of them in your home and on your way, when you lie down and when you rise up. Bind them as a sign upon your hand. Let them be a symbol before your eyes. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Be mindful of all my mitzvot and do them. So shall you consecrate yourselves to your God. I, the Lord, am your God, who led you out of Egypt to be your God. I, the Lord, am your God. All this we hold to be true and sure. You alone are our God. There is none else. We are Israel, your people. You are our sovereign, delivering us from the hand of oppressors, saving us from the fist of tyrants, doing wonders without number, marvels that pass our understanding. You give us our life. With your help, our people has survived all our oppressors. You did wonders for us in the land of Egypt, miracles and marvels in the land of Pharaoh. You led your people Israel out forever to serve you in freedom. When your children witnessed your power, they extolled you and gave you thanks. Freely they acclaimed you ruler and full of joy. Moses and all Israel sang this song. shalom. Cause us, O eternal God, lie down in peace. Raise us up, O sovereign, to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel. For your name's sake, be our help. Shield us from hatred and plague. Keep us from war and famine and anguish. Subdue our inclination to evil. O God, our guardian and helper, our gracious and merciful ruler, give us refuge in the shadow of your wings. Guard your coming and our going. Now and always we have life and peace. Blessed are you, O Lord, whose shelter of peace spread over us, over all Israel, and over Jerusalem.
We continue on page 60 of our prayer books as we rise together for the Amidah. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, v'Elohei Rachel. Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor V'Hanara, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chastei Avot V'Imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'Nehem, L'ma'an Shemo B'Yahava, Zochrenu L'chaim, Melech Chafetz L'chaim, V'Chodvenu B'Sefer HaChaim, L'ma'ancha Elohim Chaim, Baruch Melech Ozer Umoshia Umagen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Ve'ezrat Sarah. Remember us unto life, O Sovereign, who delights in life, and inscribe us in the book of life, O God of life. Atah Gibor Leolam Adonai, Mechaye Hakol Atah Rav Lehoshia, Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed, Mechaye Hakol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umkayim Emunato Ishenei Afar, Mi chamocha ba'al gevurot, umi domeh lach, melech meimit umchaye umatzmiach Yeshua. Mi chamocha av harachamim, zocher yitzurav lechaim barachamim, v'ne'eman ata l'hachayot hakol, baruch ata Adonai, mechaye hakol. We continue responsively. Love is the thread that binds our lives in a lasting fabric, which time shall fray.
Which time shall fray, but only to be rewoven by each generation.
Each generation will lift the fallen to their feet and hold them as they learn to walk.
And as they learn to walk, the sickness of our time will be healed by those who drink deep from ancient wells of truth.
From ancient wells of truth, they will draw strength to keep faith with those who sleep in the dust.
We praise the source of life and power, who has implanted within us immortal yearning, undying hopes.
Ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'gdoshim b'chol yom yehalelucha selah. Please be seated. Now in awe we behold the wonder of being, an awesome pageant of shapes and forms, yet all akin, one family of life. We pray for wisdom to treasure all creation. We ask for insight to seek its glory. We hope for courage to trust its goodness. We yearn for grace to fill the world with gladness. We seek the strength to help redeem it. A world released from sorrow to joy. The bowed head shall be raised, the bent back made straight. Those who drag their chains shall dance and sing. Oh, may violence give way to goodness, the land be cleansed of tyrants, and the prophet's word redeemed. Peace shall rule the earth. Yimloch Adonai, forever and ever. Your God, O Zion, from generation to generation. Hallelujah.
Kadosh Ata Adonai Shalomecha Ve'ein Eloah milvadecha Katuv Ve'ein Eloah milvadecha
Holy is life, awesome its source. One mind unites all being. One law rules all creation. As it is written, the God of all being is exalted by justice. The holy God is sanctified by righteousness. Blessed is creation, and blessed the love that sustains it. The house of Israel is called to holiness, to a covenant with the eternal for all time. We are called to serve the Most High. May we rejoice in this heritage forever. May this day add meaning to our lives. Let the shofar's sound awaken the voice of conscience. Our common worship unite us in love. Our memories of bondage impel us to help the oppressed. On this day of remembrance, we pray for awareness. Let love and compassion grow among us, and goodness be our daily care. This day may we find well-being. This day may we discover the eternal strength that abides among us. This day may we be helped to a life that is whole. Amen. You transcend our deepest thought and elude the keenest eye. Yet all who dwell on earth may find you. Every creature's form proclaims your glory. For all that breathes is one creation, children of a single kingdom. Thus was it written of old, the sovereign God of Israel is the one whose dominion extends to all creation. The realm of law is the domain of freedom. Blessed is the law that sets us free to find gladness and joy. Praise be the power that makes for freedom, that blesses the house of Israel in the day of remembrance. We pause now to take a moment for our own silent prayers. We continue responsively in the middle of page 67. Words there are in prayers, but justice there is not, nor yet peace. The prophet said, in the end of days, God shall judge between the nations. They shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Although we must wait for judgment, we may not wait for peace to fall like rain upon us. The teacher said, those who had made peace in their house, it is as though they had brought peace to all Israel, indeed to all the world. Peace will remain a distant vision until we do the work of peace ourselves. If peace is to be brought into the world, we must bring it first to our families and communities. The psalmist said, seek peace and pursue it. Be not content to make peace only in your own household. Go forth and work for peace, wherever men and women are struggling in its cause.
Each life, each spark, every light that emerges from every dark. This body, this voice, this energy. I just opened my eyes, it was granted to me. Given this space, given this time, given to all, uniquely mine. Every first and every last, all of the future, the present, and even the past. I am a wave, a rise and a fall, a singular drop in the ocean, connected to all. Given this space, given this time,
It's Yontiv. One day that begins our year, our new year. One day we have to pause to begin our reflection, to look within, to give ourselves some time, to trust a little, enough at least to close our prayer books for this moment, to put them away, to release ourselves of that printed word. And enough trust as well to close our eyes, to take a deep breath, and to relax. To breathe in God's gift to each and every one of us. To breathe out our gift to this very world. Yontiv, our new year. We're told it's the birthday of the world, the anniversary of the creation. And on that sixth day of creation, so was humanity given life. Breathed into the first, the Ruach Elohim, the Spirit of the Divine, the breath of God. So with each breath that we take, that we inhale, as we feel our lungs fill with life, so we're linked to the story of creation. So we're linked to the birthday of the world. So we're reminded of the beauty in nature and our obligation to that which surrounds us. On Yontiv, we're supposed to reflect, to look back and to look ahead, to think, what have I noticed in my natural world? What miracles have I seen? The radiance in the shining sun and the blue sky, the colors of the leaves, the yellows of daffodils, the richness of the grass, the beauty that's in humanity with the birth of a child, the newness, the preciousness, the innocence of life, even the memories that we hold on to, reminding us this, again, the preciousness of life. How have we treasured these gifts? The reality that every one of us is created B'Tselem Elohim in the image of God. That divine spark is within us to help us in our own creation, to help us do good, magnify the good in our world. How else can we do that? What more can I do in this new year to celebrate creation, to celebrate my gifts, to celebrate these beauties that are there with me each and every day? It's Yontiv. One day we have to pause, to begin our time of reflection, to set a tone for these next 10 days, but really for this next year. Remind ourselves of the capacity, the opportunity, the potential we each have, the blessings that we can and will experience, and the blessings that we can share.
There is a love song of taking and giving, of singing and dancing in rhythm with all that is living. It's breathing out and breathing in, a life that is taken and granted again and again. Given this space, given this time, given to all, uniquely mine. Given this space given, this time given to all, uniquely mine.
We continue on with our prayer books as we turn to page 69 and we rise together. Avinu Malkeinu, Shema Kolenu, our Father, our King, hear our voice.
Avinu Malkeinu, Chatanu Lefanecha.
Our Father, our King, we have sinned against you. Avinu Malkeinu, Chamo Aleinu Va'al Olaleinu V'tapenu. Our Father, our King, have compassion on us and on our children.
Avinu Malkeinu, Kale Dever V'chera V'ra'av Me'aleinu.
Our Father, our King, make an end to sickness, war, and famine. Avinu Malkeinu Kale Kol Tsar Umastin Me'aleinu. Our Father, our King, make an end to all oppression.
Avinu Malkeinu Kodveni B'Sefer Chaim Tovim.
Our Father, our King, inscribe us for blessing in the book of life. Avinu Malkeinu Chadesh Aleinu Shana Tova. Our Father, our King, let the new year be a good year for us.
Avinu Malkeinu Harim Keren Yisrael Amecha.
Our Father, our King, give strength
to your people of Israel.
Avinu Malkeinu, Chanenu va'anenu, ki ein banu ma'asim aseimanu tzedakah v'chesed v'hoshienu. Our Father, our King, be gracious and answer us, for we have little merit. Treat us generously and with kindness, and be our help.
Avinu Malkeinu, Shema Kolenu. Avinu Malkeinu, Chatanu Lefanecha. Avinu Malkeinu, Chamol Aleinu, Ve'olol Aleinu.
A few weeks ago, I did something that I've been doing for the past number of years. Dressed in a suit, a kippah covering my head, and with our oldest Torah, the almost 500-year-old Holocaust Torah in my arms, I walked into Rochester High School. I was scheduled to meet with a world religions class. They had been studying Judaism, and I was going to share a little bit more and answer their questions. And having done this in numerous schools with a variety of different ages, I had a pretty good feeling for the questions that would be asked. There would be the standards. Why did you become a rabbi? Or, what's your favorite holiday? Or, have you been to Israel before? But this year, from the moment that I walked in, I could tell that things were going to be a little different. As the students began filing in, one of them excitedly ran up to me and asked, "Are you the rabbi? This is so great. I've always wanted to meet a rabbi." Eventually, the students took their seats and we began, and so did the expected questions. And then came the question, one that was new for me in a classroom setting. How was I going to respond? What background was this student coming from? He wasn't looking for a religious doctrine. He wanted a spiritual answer. The question? For Jews, what's the purpose of life? Knowing that I didn't have the answer in my back pocket, I stalled. It's a great question. Bought me a few seconds. Enough time to begin formulating a response. A verse from the Bible came into my mind. And fortunately, it was the teacher's favorite quote, and it was posted in her room. It just so happens that it's also a version of the quote that we have on the wall behind me, from the prophet Micah. What does God want from us? To act justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with God. I spoke about those verses serving as a mission statement for us, that it gave us a sense of purpose, calling on us to fulfill certain acts. And then I went into the story of Hillel, the great rabbi from 2,000 years ago, who was teaching a potential convert in his summary of the entirety of the Torah, which teaches us that which is hateful to you, do not do to others. That was the purpose in our lives, too. We're flawed. We treat others poorly, and we allow others to be treated unfairly. Our purpose in life was to follow that summary of our Torah. That which is hurtful to you, do not do to others. Different from the Micah quote. Instead of calling us to action, this was actually calling us to refrain from action. The class was only an hour, and I left it at that so that I could take other questions. But in thinking about it afterwards, I realized, isn't that the question whose answer we're supposed to be searching for tonight? What's our purpose in life? What should we be doing? And why do we do it? The what we should be doing is easy. From the beginning of our faith, as we stood at Mount Sinai, the Israelites were taught something that has been our mantra. Na'aseh v'nishma. We will do, and then we will hear. In other words, our ancestors were saying, we will follow these laws that you are giving us. And then, after we were doing them, we will study them and understand them. The idea is that it's about our actions. That, as is often said about Judaism, we're a religion that focuses on deed over creed. Because for the traditional mind, it didn't matter why you were doing something, just that you did it. Because if you were following the law, then that's what you're supposed to do. I've lived that. We've all lived that. We celebrate a holiday or follow a ritual focusing on the whats, on the hows, because that's what our faith encourages us to do. I've given that sermon. Told you to light Shabbos candles. But sometimes we need more. Years ago, the Reform movement, Reform Judaism, took a different approach. We adopted the idea of choice through knowledge. Our party line became first study, then do it. If it doesn't work, throw it out. Move on. But do the things that have meaning, that have purpose. What if we continued that approach? What if we continued to look at things a little differently? To understand why we do things in our own meaningful way. I was recently introduced to a man who does just that. Unlike many who are meeting someone for the first time who might ask what they do for a living, or others who see an acquaintance and ask how they're doing, he has his two questions. First, what have you done that you believe in? And second, what are you proud of? Imagine being asked those two questions. What have you done that you believe in? What are you proud of? How many of us would be prepared to answer that question on the spot? And then think about what that response would tell you about the person. It would cut straight to the core of who they are, the essence of their character. It would tell you the reason that they get up every morning and what they hope to accomplish. A few months ago, the Moth Radio Hour had a story that did just that. A woman named Catherine was telling the story of her father. From a southern, small rural town, a Ford dealer. Business was good. Most of his community was driving a car that he had sold them. But then the stock market crashed. And then came Black Tuesday. The Great Depression had begun. His customers, his neighbors and friends, they couldn't afford to make payments. And so he was told to repossess their cars. But he just couldn't do it. He wouldn't do it. Instead, he cut back on the way that he lived. And while he had no money coming in, he continued to make his payments. In the end, he was lucky. He weathered the storm, and Ford wanted him to start selling again. But to do that, he would have to pay for the inventory. And he had no money to do that. And so they took away his dealership. Somehow, his story got out. This dealer, who made it a priority to help so many others in his community, who had now lost everything, was contacted by GM. They offered him a dealership. And guess what? Because of his loyalty, because of the way that he looked after his customers, they all came back to him. The new Ford dealer was run out of town, and he became the community's first millionaire. And it was all because he didn't focus on the orders that he was given, but rather on what was honorable. Not always easy. Doesn't always work. But it was the right thing to do. Makes you feel, what do you call it? Like a mensch. And it was all because he thought about his why, about who he was and what he hoped to accomplish. He didn't simply want to be a car salesman. He got up each morning with the desire to help his community, with his desire to do what he knew in his heart, what was right. But he was only able to do it because he knew his mission, and he stuck with it. Tonight is about helping us be like that car dealer. Rosh Hashanah is our annual checkup, our chance to think about how we're doing, our world, our community, ourselves as individuals. Every year we're to do a cheshbon hanefesh, an accounting of our soul, to think who we are, what we believe in, and to determine not only if we are living up to our mission, but if it's still the right mission for us. Whether we realize it or not, each one of us has a personal mission, our reason for getting out of bed and doing what we do. And this is what I believe, with perfect faith. I believe that I can be better every day. As a husband, as a father, as a son, as a brother, as a friend, as a rabbi, and as a person. I believe I can be brighter, that every day I can learn something new. I believe in finding balance, in being present in the moment, and in finding joy amidst life's challenges. And I believe I can make our world more beautiful on a daily basis. That's my mission. I might miss my mark some days, maybe lots of days. But today, as we celebrate Rosh Hashanah, and as I think about the person who I am, who I want to be, and why, I find strength in that mission and recommit myself to fulfilling it in the best way possible in the upcoming year. As you hear the shofar blasts, as that annual alarm clock rings in our ears, it's a reminder to know your mission. It's your turn to commit to it. Think about it. Amen. Thank you.
All around you, hearts are beating one by one. All around you, listen as your song is sung. All around you, dreams are living on and on. All around you, a new day's begun. Dreams are looking everywhere, all around you. A new day's begun. We need a little love, a little life, a little time to share. We need a little strength, a little hope.
Take the time to care.
We need a little faith, a little grace, a little here and there, all around you. A new day's begun. On and on and on and on and on and on. All around you, hearts are beating one by one. All around you, listen as your song is sung. All around you, dreams are living on and on. All around you, a new day's begun. We need a little love, a little life, a little time to share. We need a little strength, a little hope, to take the time to care. We need a little faith, a little grace, a little here and there. We need a little love, a little life, a little time to share. We need a little strength, a little hope, to take the time to care. We need a little faith, a little grace, time to work away. We need a little strength, a little hope, a little here and there, all around you. A new day's begun. A new year's begun.
We continue on page 72, as we rise together for our concluding prayers. Let us adore the ever-living God.
And render
Praise unto you, who spread out the heavens and established the earth, whose glory is revealed in the heavens above, and whose greatness is manifest throughout the world. You are God. There is none else.
ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
On that day, O God, you shall be one, and your name shall be one.
ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני
The light of life is a finite flame. Like a candle, life is kindled. It burns. It glows. It is radiant with warmth and beauty. But soon it fades. Its substance is consumed, and it is no more. In light we see. In light we are seen. The flames dance and our lives are full. But as night follows day, the candle of our life burns down in gutters. There is an end to the flames. We see no more and are no more seen. Yet we do not despair, for we are more than a memory slowly fading into the darkness. With our lives we give life. Something of us can never die. We move in the eternal cycle of darkness and death, of light and life. As we prepare to recite the immortal words of the Kaddish, we remember our loved ones who blessed our lives and our people, and we join together in the Kaddish praise, thanking God for the gift of their life. Yitgadal, Yitgadash, Shmei Rabbah, V'amad Yivrach Yerutei V'amlich Malchutei, V'chai V'chon V'yom Echon V'chayei D'chol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala U'bizman Kariv V'imru, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevorach Le'olam Umei Amaya, Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar V'yitromam V'yitnaseh, Yitadar, Yitalem, Yitalal, Shmei Kudisha, B'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechemata, damiran be'oma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ya'kol Yisrael, v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav, uyaseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru. Amen. The source of peace, send peace to all who mourn. Comfort to all the bereaved among us here and everywhere. As together we say, Amen.
Oseh shalom b'mramav, uyaseh shalom aleinu ve'al
like Daniel all the time. I didn't know I had to work. Sorry. Someone just asked me, where's Micah? He's right down there. So, Happy New Year, everyone. Don't run away. A couple minutes of Tish, of course, when you can ask any question you want about Jewish law or lore, whatever's on your mind, and we rabbis continue the conversation with you for a minute. But just know tonight, we like to make this is the most intimate of our holiday services, and so let's stick around. We have an oneg for us to enjoy together, to schmooze, to have a nosh, and to celebrate the new year for a few minutes more after our Tish as well. All the thank yous that are listed in our program, of course, that we really want you to read to appreciate all the people, especially tonight, our flautist, Sarah Frank, with all of our choir and cantor, and all of our ushers, and everyone who makes our services so special. Of course, as you see in there, the announcement will have bags out tomorrow too, but the food drive begins next Sunday, all day next Sunday. We collect food here at Temple as well as at Hillel Day School during religious school. Please help us with thousands of pounds of food to help both Forgotten Harvest and Yad Ezra for the needy in our community that we can help. So, a moment. Tomorrow morning our services continue at 10 o'clock. I couldn't remember it started tonight at 8 either. It's 10 o'clock, and here, as well as your same tickets can get you into West Bloomfield High School. Our youth service, that's for families, 1st through 6th graders. Our high school leaders will be leading that service over there. So we hope you can enjoy one of those two services. And at 3 in the afternoon, of course, is our Pitzela service for our infant, toddlers, preschoolers, kindergartners, 1st graders to enjoy as well here in the sanctuary. Someone asked me a question before as well, because I saw Rabbi Schwartz. The elder's name is not on the ticket. He is doing well, though he is recovering. He had a Bell's palsy episode a few months ago, and so with that in mind, it's a little bit difficult for him to speak, although he's recovering every day. And he wanted me to say that Mayo Clinic says he's getting better every day and doing well. He sounds great. He yelled at both of us yesterday at about 11 o'clock at night for about an hour or so. And he threatened me if I didn't do certain things that he would come through the live stream that he's watching right now and strangle me. So that's how good you know he is. So he's fine, but this year he's taking off the holidays. He'll be with us hopefully again next year. I want to make that known too. So we all send our thoughts, prayers, good wishes to him too. Your chance for a question or two that you may have.
Before that first question, one other word of thanks. We also thank John Bogdan, stroking the ivory keys over there. You're doing beautiful on that. And one other announcement, too, for anybody that's interested, tomorrow there will be a shuttle as well from Doherty Elementary to here in case of rain, and I think there might be one tonight as well for anybody that needs a ride back in case it's raining. So It's the beauty of our skylight. We used to be able to hear all of that. If it was raining.
Oh, yes, right. We can't tell. I know.
We can't tell anymore.
We'll hear about that tomorrow. Yes, Bunny.
So last year from the Bema, Rabbi Daniel set a new precedent that he followed through the year, is Monday morning Havana. And for those of us that have become very spoiled and we know the look for you at the crack of dawn every Monday morning, I am wondering if you're going to continue the tradition.
Did you notice, though, the week when the baby was born, it didn't happen right away? I know. I was
maybe Rabbi,
so Rabbi Daniel, he mentioned he would do this, and he asked you to sign up last year on Rosh Hashanah, and he began a Monday morning kavanah with a little snippet of Jewish teaching each Monday that would set your week in order from Jewish tradition. And he's continued that through this year almost every Monday. And the question is that, our past president, Buddy Lieberman, has looked forward to that each week, and would that continue now that he has a new sermon and he's announced his mission?
That's that every day I have the opportunity to teach as well as I become brighter every day. So it won't probably happen on a regular basis, but I will sneak some other ones in there every few weeks. There will be one in your box tomorrow, though.
Nice.
And it's not too late. If you're interested in being on that listserv, just let us know.
Excellent. Other questions? Oh, it's a quiet crowd. Oh, it's good as me, 'cause it's oneg time.
Oneg.
What's that?
Everybody's hungry.
Yeah, it's all good. Well, you know where to find us as well. One of the nice things about Temple Shir Shalom, I believe, is that we connect with one another, we know one another, and we like to see each other. And that makes the holidays a very special time for us, that we get to be together and we get to share in our traditions. And it's good to be together. It's good to see one another and to be seen as well. So we appreciate those blessings that you bring into our lives that we get to celebrate in days like this. So make sure you stop by, say hello to us on these moments as well. Let us rise together for our concluding song, which is on page
47?
Page 47. No, 47?
Well, let's go backwards to it. Yeah.
Adon Olam?
Adon Olam.
Adon Olam, bringing back the oldies
Okay,
for our goodness.
Tradition is good.
This is for you, Daniel. You love this.
Adon Olam, Hashem Olam, Erev Kol Yitzir Nivra, Leit Lazor V'Chetzon Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nivra, Ve'yam Harei Kichlot Hagol, Le'aro Yimloch Nora, Le'hu Hayom, Le'hu Hover, Le'hu Yiyeh, V'tifara, Ve'hu Echad, Ve'ein Sheni, Le'hamshilo, Le'achmira, Ve'li'reshit, Ve'li'tachnit, Ve'lo ha'os, Ve'ramizrach, Ve'hu Eili, Ve'chai Go'ali, Ve'tzor Chevri, Ve'ezara, Ve'hu Nizri, U'lanosni, Ve'nat Kosi, Ve'yom Ekra, Ve'nado Avdi Bruchi, Ve'ezishan, Ve'alira, Ve'ibruchi, Ve'virati, Adonai, Elohim Ra.
Adonai oz le'emo yitain. May God bless you with strength. Adonai yivarech et amo v'ashalom. May God bless all of us here and everywhere in this upcoming year with a year of peace. Shana Tova.